Prince Harry's shocking confession about King Charles, the secret that changes everything. Prince Harry just ripped open old wounds and exposed the darkest truths about King Charles. Truths so explosive, they threatened to rewrite the monarchy's legacy. In his own words, Prince Harry reveals how King Charles abandoned him emotionally for decades and cut him off financially when he dared to leave the royal cage. But that's just the start. Prince Harry also accused King Charles of letting Camila manipulate the media to destroy his reputation, of ignoring Meghan's mental health crisis as she begged for help, and of denying his own grandson Archie a title and security out of cold, calculated tradition. And here's the kicker. Prince Harry claims King Charles knew exactly what the tabloids were doing and let it happen. But why would a father betray his son? Was it jealousy, pride, or pure survival? This isn't just a family feud. This is a royal reckoning. Prince Harry's bombshell memoir exposes secrets the crown's buried for generations. This is the confession the palace never wanted you to hear. What you're about to hear will leave you speechless. Stay until the end, because the final revelation, it changes everything. Number 1. Emotional distance after Princess Diana's death. Prince Harry's often said that he felt completely alone after his mother, Princess Diana, died. When Princess Diana passed away, Prince Harry was very young and in desperate need of comfort. Instead of getting warm, reassuring care from his father, King Charles, he recalls that his father was too wrapped up in royal duties and protocol. This means that Prince Harry's grief was met with silence rather than compassion. Many news reports, including coverage from BBC News in 1997 and The Guardian in 2012, have noted that the royal family, bound by tradition, did not openly share their feelings during that time. For Prince Harry, the lack of emotional support left him confused and hurt. He struggled with the loss of his own, growing up with a feeling of abandonment at a moment when he needed a parent the most. The pain of losing his mother was deepening by the absence of a loving response from the one person who should have been there to help him heal. This emotional gap has stayed with him over the years, shaping his view of what a family should be, a place where care and love come before duty. Prince Harry's experience reminds us that even in families with great status, the most important need is always for genuine, heartfelt support. Number 2. Prioritizing duty over family. Prince Harry shared that he felt his father, King Charles, chose royal duty over family time. Prince Harry explains that when personal problems arose, King Charles was more focused on his public role and responsibilities than on comforting his sons. This strict focus on duty, according to Prince Harry, meant that his feelings and needs were often pushed aside. Many reputable sources such as BBC News 2019 and The Telegraph 2020 have noted that royal life demands a strong sense of duty that sometimes comes at the expense of personal connection. For Prince Harry, it was painful to see that during times of personal loss or difficulty, family support was not given the same priority as fulfilling traditional roles. Instead of being a warm and supportive parent, King Charles appeared distant, driven by the need to uphold centuries-old traditions. This way of handling responsibilities left Prince Harry with a lasting sense of isolation and a feeling that his personal well-being was not as important as maintaining the royal image. The choice of duty over family has not only affected Prince Harry's trust, but has also fueled his desire to create a different life, one where caring for one's family comes first, even in the face of duty. His words remind us that no amount of protocol should ever replace the importance of family love and care. Number 3. Financial cutoff. One of the most painful claims Prince Harry's made is that his father, King Charles, suddenly stopped supporting him financially after he chose to step back from royal duties. For Prince Harry, this financial cutoff was not only about money, it was a powerful signal that his value in the family had changed. When the financial support was withdrawn, Prince Harry felt abandoned and alone, as if his father had decided that he no longer deserved the same care as before. Trusted news sources like BBC News in 2021 and The Guardian in 2021 have discussed how financial matters in royal circles are closely linked to one's status and role. Prince Harry sees money as a sign of trust and love, and the abrupt stop in support was a painful reminder that he was now seen as less important. This decision felt like a punishment for choosing a different path, one that meant less tradition and more independence. To Prince Harry, the loss of financial support was a message that family loyalty was secondary to duty and image. In a family where every penny is tied to reputation and obligation, being cut off financially was like being pushed out of the family circle. His story here is not just about bank accounts. It's about the deep hurt caused when love is measured by money and support is used as a tool of control. It shows us how, even in a world of privilege, the need for emotional security and care is paramount. Number 4. Palace media leaks. In one of his more explosive claims, Prince Harry alleges that private conversations were leaked by staff working for King Charles. Prince Harry believes these leaks were done to protect the image of Camila by twisting the narrative in the media. He says that instead of keeping family matters private, the palace chose to expose certain details that would help shape public opinion in their favor. Reports from outlets such as BBC News in 2020 and the Daily Mail have long discussed the close relationship between the royal household and the press. For Prince Harry, these leaks were a betrayal on many levels. They were not accidental. He sees them as deliberate moves meant to hurt him and to cover up uncomfortable truths. The idea that family secrets were used as weapons in a battle for public image is deeply unsettling. This incident reveals a troubling reality. In the royal institution, personal pain can become a tool for political and time management. By allowing confidential details to be shared with the media, the palace undermined trust and intensified divisions within the family. Prince Harry's accusations suggest that the very people tasked with protecting family privacy chose to sacrifice it for the sake of reputation. This has had a lasting impact on his view of the institution, leaving him to wonder if his personal struggles are being traded as commodities in the court of public opinion. His story here is a powerful reminder that transparency and trust are vital, and once broken, can change a family forever. Number 5. Inaction against media attacks. Prince Harry has frequently talked about how both he and Meghan suffered from harsh media attacks without adequate protection from the royal establishment. He feels that during times when damaging headlines and stories were targeting them, King Charles did not step in to defend his family. Instead of offering help and standing up against the toxic tabloid campaigns, the response was one of inaction. Major news outlets like CNN in 2021 and BBC News in 2021 have reported on the relentless media scrutiny that the royal family endures, yet few have addressed the personal cost of such attacks. For Prince Harry, the failure to counter these negative stories was a clear sign that the family's image was valued more than their individual well-being. When the press was vicious and unyielding, a caring parent would normally protect his child. But here, the silence from King Charles only deepened the pain. This lack of intervention made Prince Harry feel isolated, as if his struggles were not important enough to warrant a response. It also reinforced a belief that the royal institution cared more about preserving tradition and reputation than about safeguarding the mental and emotional health of its members. Prince Harry's experience highlights how damaging it can be when personal support is sacrificed on the altar of public image. His story serves as a strong call for institutions to put people first, especially when they face relentless and unfair public scrutiny. Number 6. Camilla's influence. Prince Harry's been very open about how Camila, King Charles' wife, has played a role in shaping family dynamics and media narratives. He suggests that her influence has contributed to tensions within the family, especially between him and his brother William. Prince Harry feels that Camilla's presence has not only affected personal relationships, but also the way the public sees the royal family. Reports from The Guardian in 2018 and BBC News in 2018 have looked at how Camilla's relationship with King Charles has evolved, and how it sometimes changes the balance of power within the family. For Prince Harry, this influence seems to go beyond personal opinion. He claims that by steering the media narrative, Camila helped create a situation where public opinion was swayed in ways that deepened the rift between him and his brother. The way stories are told about the royal family, according to Prince Harry, is not always objective. They're sometimes shaped to favor certain members over others. This manipulations made Prince Harry feel sidelined and misunderstood, as if his genuine concerns were being ignored for the sake of a polished public image. His discussion about Camilla's influence is not an attack on her personally, but a critique of a system that uses personal relationships to manage public perception. It serves as a reminder that in a family where private life and public duty are intertwined, Every action can have a deep and lasting personal consequence. Number 7. No mediation in sibling feuds. Prince Harry's also raised the issue of how conflicts between him and his brother William were allowed to grow without any intervention from King Charles. Prince Harry believes that as a father and head of the family, King Charles should have stepped in to help resolve the disagreements between his sons. Instead, he says the tension was allowed to escalate on its own. News sources like ITV News in 2022 and BBC News in 2022 have discussed the challenges of managing internal family disputes in a highly public environment such as the royal household. For Prince Harry, the absence of mediation was deeply hurtful. He felt that his father's unwillingness to act was a sign that personal feelings and family bonds were less important than maintaining a strict public image. This inaction not only widened the gap between the brothers, but also left Prince Harry feeling abandoned in a time when guidance and care were most needed. Without a mediator to help ease conflicts, small issues grew into significant divisions that continue to affect the family. Prince Harry's story here is a call for empathy and active support from family leaders, especially when personal bonds are at risk. He hopes that by sharing these details, others might understand the high cost of neglecting the very relationships that should form the foundation of any family. Number 8. The spare dynamic. Prince Harry often speaks about the painful feeling of being treated as the spare, rather than the main heir in the royal family. He's explained that from an early age, he sensed that his role was seen as secondary compared to his older brother William. According to Prince Harry, King Charles reinforced this idea by placing more focus on preparing William for future responsibilities. Publications such as the Daily Telegraph in 2020 and BBC News in 2020 have noted that the royal hierarchy often leaves the younger sibling feeling undervalued. For Prince Harry, being known as the spare meant that his own achievements and needs were overlooked. This constant comparison made him feel as though he was less important and that his personal struggles did not matter as much. The feeling of being expendable has had a lasting effect on him, shaping his decisions and his desire to break away from a system that defines him by his birth order. His experience challenges the notion that family worth should be measured by one's position in a hierarchy. Prince Harry's story is a reminder that every individual deserves recognition and respect, regardless of tradition or title. It shows that even in families with centuries-old legacies, personal value should never be sidelined or diminished. Number 9. Institutional silence on racism. Prince Harry has hinted that there were times when concerns about racism within the royal establishment were not properly addressed. He feels that when issues of racial insensitivity came up, King Charles and other senior figures chose to remain silent. For Prince Harry, this silence was not only disappointing, but also hurtful, especially when such issues affected people close to him, like his wife Meghan. News organizations like the New York Times in 2021 and BBC News in 2021 have explored the challenges of addressing racism in traditional institutions. Although direct evidence specific to the royal family remains a subject of debate, Prince Harry believes that by not speaking out, the leadership allowed problematic behavior to go unchallenged, sending a message that some concerns were less important than protecting the institution's reputation. This inaction contributed to a feeling that the royal establishment was more interested in upholding old traditions than in embracing modern values of inclusion and equality. His comments serve as a call for change, a demand that the institution listen to and act upon the concerns of those who feel marginalized. Prince Harry's experience reminds us that silence in the face of injustice can be just as harmful as active discrimination. His hope is that by shedding light on these issues, the royal family might one day become a place where everyone feels valued and respected. Number 10. Archie's title and security. Prince Harry's expressed strong frustration over the treatment of his son Archie, especially regarding his title and security. Prince Harry claims that when it came to deciding Archie's status, King Charles chose not to grant him a royal title or provide the usual protection that came with being a member of the royal family. For Prince Harry, this decision is symbolic. It feels like a clear message that his own family does not fully accept or support him. Outlets such as The Guardian in 2022 and BBC News in 2022 have reported on the controversy surrounding royal titles and the security provided to family members. For Prince Harry, Archie's situation is not just about protocol. It represents a deeper neglect. He believes that every child deserves to feel safe and valued, regardless of their place in the line of succession. The lack of a title or proper security for Archie is seen as another example of how institutional priorities can hurt personal relationships. This decision's deepened the wounds that Prince Harry's long carried, making him feel that his family has continued to turn its back on him and his loved ones. His words here are a plea for a system that puts family care before rigid rules, a system where every member, young or old, is treated with respect and compassion. Number 11. Outdated parenting. Prince Harry's been very critical of what he sees as an outdated style of parenting practiced within the royal family, especially by King Charles. Prince Harry believes that King Charles followed old traditions that did not take into account the modern needs of a child. He recalls a childhood where open discussions of feelings were discouraged in favor of strict adherence to protocol. Reports from The Independent in 2021 and BBC News in 2021 have noted the generational differences in parenting styles and the difficulties in adapting old customs to a modern world. For Prince Harry, the lack of warmth and understanding left him feeling isolated at times when he most needed support. Instead of receiving guidance and empathy, he was expected to accept a set of rigid rules that left little room for personal expression. This style of parenting had lasting consequences, shaping his view on what it means to be truly cared for. Prince Harry calls for a kinder, more open way of raising children, one that balances tradition with compassion. His reflections on his upbringing are a reminder that while tradition can offer stability, it should never come at the expense of genuine human connection and the freedom to express one's emotions. Number 12. Frogmore Cottage eviction. One of the most controversial moments in recent royal history, according to Prince Harry, was the eviction from Frogmore Cottage. After he and Meghan decided to step back from royal duties, Prince Harry claims that King Charles played a role in forcing them out of their UK home. For Prince Harry, this was not just about losing a property. It was a symbolic act that showed the institution no longer valued him as a family member. Reputable sources like BBC News in 2020 and The Telegraph in 2020 have discussed how this move signaled a major shift in the relationship between Prince Harry and the royal establishment. Prince Harry feels that the decision to evict them stripped away a sense of belonging and security that he'd once associated with home. It served as a stark reminder that his choice to forge a new path came at a personal and painful cost. The loss of Frogmore Cottage marked the end of an era for him, a moment when the traditional expectations of duty and legacy were chosen over the well-being of an individual. This episode is a powerful illustration of how institutional decisions, cloaked in tradition, can deeply affect personal lives. For Prince Harry, the eviction was more than a logistical matter. It was a wound that underscored the emotional distance between him and the royal family. Number 13. Dismissing Meghan's mental health. Prince Harry'd been very vocal about how Meghan's mental health struggles were not taken seriously by the royal institution. He claims that when Meghan faced extreme stress and anxiety from relentless media scrutiny and public pressure, King Charles did little to support or defend her. For Prince Harry, this dismissive attitude was both painful and disappointing. Major news outlets like CNN in 2021 and BBC News in 2021 have highlighted the enormous pressures Meghan faced since joining the royal family. According to Prince Harry, a caring family should stand by its members during times of crisis. But instead, Meghan's needs were overlooked. He feels that no one should have to battle mental health challenges alone, especially when those challenges are compounded by invasive and harmful media narratives. The lack of support response from those who hold power in the family has only deepened the sense of betrayal he feels. Prince Harry's remarks on this issue are a plea for a more compassionate approach, a call for change in how mental health is addressed within the institution that should prioritize personal well-being over public image. His honest sharing of these experiences aims to highlight the need for empathy and genuine support, rather than cold indifference when someone is in need. Number 14. Press manipulation. Prince Harry's raised serious concerns about the role the royal household plays in managing media narratives during family disputes. He claims that King Charles' teams often use the press to sway public opinion in ways that protect the family's image, even if that means bending the truth. According to Prince Harry, this manipulation is not just about controlling the news. It's a deliberate strategy that's hurt him personally. News outlets such as The Guardian in 2022 and BBC News in 2022 have discussed how the royal establishment sometimes works closely with the media to shape a favorable narrative. For Prince Harry, the use of press manipulation feels like a betrayal because it turns private family struggles into public spectacles. He believes that instead of addressing problems openly, the family's chosen to hide behind carefully crafted stories. This method of managing the narratives not only damaged his reputation, but also deepened the internal divisions within the family. Prince Harry's story here is a call for honesty and accountability, a demand that personal truths should not be sacrificed for the sake of maintaining a pristine public image. His experience shows how the interplay between media and power can often lead to decisions that hurt the very people they're meant to protect. Number 15. Rigid adherence to protocol. Prince Harry's long criticized the royal family for sticking too strictly to old protocols, even when those rules hurt personal relationships. He explains that King Charles often chose tradition over the chance to reconcile or show real care for family members. For Prince Harry, this strict adherence to rules meant that there was no room for empathy or flexibility, even in moments when heartfelt support was needed. Media sources like The Telegraph in 2019 and BBC News in 2019 have pointed out that the royal family's commitment to tradition sometimes comes at the expense of personal connection. In Prince Harry's view, every time protocol was followed without question, it deepened the emotional distance within the family. He was expected to put on a brave face and follow the rules, no matter how much pain he was feeling inside. This system of unyielding adherence has not only damaged his relationship with his father, but has also left a lasting mark on his view of duty versus care. Prince Harry's call for change is simple. Tradition should never override the need for human warmth and understanding. His reflections remind us that while respect for heritage is important, it should never come at the cost of genuine family love and the chance for healing. Number 16. Resentment toward Princess Diana's legacy. Prince Harry's hinted that there might be some unresolved tension regarding Princess Diana's lasting legacy within the royal family. He suggests that King Charles may have felt threatened or even resentful of the enormous public adoration for Princess Diana. For Prince Harry, this lingering resentment's had a profound effect on how family members are treated and how personal history is managed. Reports from The Guardian in 2017 and BBC News in 2017 have discussed how Princess Diana's legacy continues to influence the public image of the monarchy, sometimes to the discomfort of those within it. Prince Harry believes that this underlying tensions affected the way decisions were made, sometimes at his expense. Rather than honoring the memory of a beloved mother and humanitarian, the focus shifted to protecting the institution's image. This shift, according to Prince Harry, contributed to a sense of personal loss that went far beyond the grief of losing his mother. The unresolved issues surrounding Princess Diana's legacy serve as a reminder that history can cast a long shadow over the present, affecting personal relationships in unexpected ways. Prince Harry's candid reflections on this subject challenge us to consider how personal loss and public duty can become entangled, leaving scars that last for decades. That's it, folks. What do you think about Prince Harry's shocking confession? Do you believe these shocking truths mark a turning point for the royal family, or is there more to this hidden story? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this video as engaging as we did, remember to like, share, and subscribe. And hit the notification bell so you never miss our latest video. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye!